This is question number 8 in the November 2014 calculator paper. So let's have a look at this question. The question starts off by saying the frequency table gives information about the heights of some people. So they're giving us information about heights of people. We've got the frequency table. Here are the groups. Here are the frequencies. They haven't actually told us how many people there are altogether. Let's look at what the question's asking. They want us to draw a frequency polygon for this information. Now this is a very, very straightforward question, and at this stage you should know exactly what you need to do to actually answer this question. In the graph over here, they want us to draw a frequency polygon. Now you should know that in order to draw a frequency polygon, you're going to plot the frequency against the midpoints of the group. And what I'm going to do first of all is identify what the midpoints of the groups are going to be. So I'm going to write midpoint. You could write MP over there. And I'm going to look at each of these groups to find the midpoints. Now, one way, if you find this difficult, is to add the two numbers and then divide it by 2. So I could do that all the way along. I'm just going to show you that first of all. I'm going to do 160 plus 165 equals, that's 325 divided by 2, and that gives me 162.5. And that's the midpoint of that group, 162.5. Now I know what the numbers are, right, by observation. 165 to 170, that's going to be 167.5. The next one is going to be 172.5. The next one is 177.5, 182.5, and finally 187.5. Okay, now you should be able to work those out. If not, you saw how I did with a calculator. Now we're going to plot these midpoints against the frequencies. Now let's just have a look at the frequency polygon or the graph that we're going to use. So we've got frequencies here, we've got heights over here, and I'm going to use the midpoints heights. So if I look at the very first one, when the frequency is 2, I'm going to use the height of 162.5. Let's have a look at the scale. So if I zoom out just for this first one, okay, so 160, 165 is here, so it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squares along, and so 162.5 is going to be halfway between those two. The frequency is 2. Remember, this goes up to 10. There are 10 tiny squares, so 2 is going to be 2 squares up. I've just put a dot there. I'm going to put a cross to indicate it. Okay. Now I'm going to do the same with all the other points, and I'll zoom out a bit more so you can see exactly what I'm going to do to each of the others. If I move this off, you'll see the 167. It has a frequency of 5. 167.5 is going to be halfway between 160 and 170. So it's going to be 1, 2.5 there. If I follow that up to 5, put my point there, and here's a neat cross to show that on my frequency polygon. Carrying on, 172.5, 172.5 is here, so that's 1, 2.5, and I need to go up to 10, so follow this up to 10, and there it is. Put a neat clear cross. 177.5, I need to go up to 21, so 177.5 is going to be here. We go all the way up to 21, so that's 20. 21 is there, and here's my cross. Then 182.5, 180, 182.5, and that goes up to 16. So this here is 15. 16 is 1 square above it. So let's see if I can work this, and yep, you need to be very precise as you're doing this, right? And then finally 185 and 190, halfway between those is 187.5. 0.5, and it says a frequency of 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. There you have it. Okay, so let's join these up. As you can see, I've plotted all the frequencies against the midpoints. Now, this is a point of confusion. You don't draw a curve through these. You join these up with straight lines. Okay, so we're going to go from one to the other and join them up with straight lines. And finally, okay, so here it is. Here is the frequency polygon, right, that you should get. It is very important that you plot the midpoints against the frequencies. That is something that you essentially need to remember and always do.